The Western perspective that nature is inert, unintelligent, and a commodity to be exploited is an idea that's led humanity to unhealthy and unsustainable living practices. We've developed economic and societal structures built around the idea that humans are separate from nature and that nature does not possess intelligence nor culture. However, many different societies do not share this view, but rather see nature as possessing more than human intelligence, considering plants and trees as individuals, and understand that plants, animals, and human realms interpenetrate and share both heritage and substance. And so, of course, science is only now confirming these discoveries and shows that trees have complex sensory systems. They interact with their surroundings. They make decisions and change their behaviors. They are highly social. They have families. They can learn, and they even communicate and care for each other. So the project Foresta-Inclusive is inspired by these discoveries, and it aims to make perceptible to the human senses the slow and subtle movements of trees and surrounding ecology. So this project does this in order to help the viewer see that trees and forests are caregivers, they're vibrant and alive, and worthy of protection for their own sake. Foresta-Inclusive is comprised of three main parts. Let's focus on the object. One of the mutualistic relationships that I found particularly inspiring, which ultimately informed the visual look of this sculpture, is the protozoa. The protozoa and the termite is one of the oldest known symbiotic relationships in the world. And so for that reason, I decided to use the physical form of that protozoa as the physical shape. It's also a part of an overarching interest that I have in how we can create technologies that look to nature, that are inspired by nature. There's also 8 additional sensors that are connected to this hub. And this is really the tree's sort of experience of the world. And so all this sensor data I then send up to Shifter. Black dots represent all of the data that is being sent from the hub into the big internet. And if you look on the left-hand side, you're going to see live readings, air temperature, CO2, light, particulates, et cetera, that's being sent. So I'm sending wind and light levels every 30 seconds, and then I'm sending the rest of the data in a large chunk every 10 seconds, I think. You'll notice the black dots are leaving the hub, going to the center, and then they're shooting out to the different areas. So this is basically visually representing sending and receiving data. And so the idea is that after this exhibition, we'll be able to play back the sensor data and continue showing this visualization, because we'll just be feeding it the information that we gathered over the month of June. So the visualization is comprised of a number of particles. So these particles, we have some particles that are 1 pixel in size, we get some particles that are 3 pixels in size, and so the amounts of particles on the screen come from how many particulates we had in the air at a given time. So particulates in the air range from things like pollen to dust to air pollutants. The color of these particulate dots, particles, I'm calling them, depends on the light levels that are being gathered at the tree, and that's, of course, live. And the general move and flow of these particulates and how they're moving across the screen is governed by wind. And so the windier it is, you're going to have a lot more movement, and the less windy you're going to have a lot less movement. Finally, the background color is determined by the air temperature. So the background color changes very subtly, though, based on air temperature. Yeah, that's Foresta-Inclusive in a nutshell. There are many different types of visualizations that I can do. I'm creating all sorts of projects that receives this data and materializes it in different ways. So this is a project I'm really excited about, and I was really pleased to have the opportunity to show it at CAFKA. Thank you for listening.